Hello, everybody. You just heard, hello, boss. You have a text message. So if you hear that, that means that my sister may or may not have to slide off the screen. So, good evening, all.
Hi, y'all.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is good to see each and every one of you.
We've missed y'all. Missed y'all. We had to come back today because we missed y'all. Y'all don't even understand we missed y'all.
You know what? Ugh, I might have to slide out early on you. Might have to start celebrating a birthday early.
You got nothing to do with that, Troy. I got nothing to do with that.
My mister's birthday is tomorrow, y'all. I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. But this first piece of the show, I'm going to basically let my sister rock and roll with it as I live this thing called life and make sure that uh, my husband is taken care of. So I'll be back.
She's really just very just like,
No, I'll be. Oh yeah, that is you.
It's me.
I'll be back.
Okay, so I am today. It's on me for a little while. But no. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about, both Dee and I are. Well, she is still. I am a former musician and vocalist.
So your voice is.
Listen, my voice. I sing when I have joy in my spirit, like right now. But
So therefore, you're still a musician.
oh, so apparently, therefore, I'm still a musician.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna hear Dee in the background because she's in there. She's being a good wife. I have to applaud her for being the good wife because we know I'm not that person. So she will tell you he got one is his wife, but you got to check with both of them. That's what he will tell you. But at the same time, I'm just like, I gotta go talk to her because she handle all that. So for me, one of the things that as far as music goes, so music can really just move you one way or another. That is all the time. That is without fail. That just is what it is. Music moves you. One of the things, so I grew up in, and she did too, grew up in the hip hop era. Not this
Real hip hop
stuff they got floating around right now. I grew up in the time of actual hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, things like the positive messages that came through, but that were only able to come through the music, the messages that were able to come through and just reach out and touch you. But on the secular side, because we're not even going to talk about the beautiful music of the gospel side because that's her genre. She could go all day on that one. That's not really my genre. I can't. I mean, I could, but But one thing that I will say, one of the things that is just absolutely near and dear to my heart are the positive messages.
Yeah.
And not just hip hop, but definitely through hip hop. And so one of the songs that just resonates with me always, 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 and actually probably really started my journey with this particular artist, UNITY.
Queen.
The queen. All hail to the queen, baby. All hail to the queen. That is, so I am UNITY. That's unity. So for me, that is one of those just lifelong. So that started a lifelong love for me with, of course, Queen Latifah. And not just that, but I mean, just like, UNITY. And of course, we got to come together. We got to do this. We got to do that. We really have to come together and be who we are supposed to be. But one of the things, and to this day, because if y'all know me, y'all know that I have a Sunday show. And on my Sunday show, they have the men on that show have an issue with calling people a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the times, so for me, being younger, that wasn't a word that I was exposed to a lot. But that line from UNITY, who you calling a bitch?
Right.
Just straight. Okay, so for those who don't know, I am from the East Coast. So when she was like, who are you calling a bitch? And I'm just like, oh,
right.
I feel that. I'm with that. And so that has stuck in my mind like all this time, even after all these years. It's just like, it just is what it is. And that is not, we don't do that. We don't play that.
That's not who we are.
It is not who we are. Now, I will say that I love my Sunday show. I love my crew and all of them, but it is a totally different genre, a totally different vibe. It is not for the faint of heart. If you are sensitive, don't watch on Sundays. But yeah, so this is just
you like all that ratchet news.
Yeah, if you like all the ratchet, the Sunday show is about that. Now I will say, because the show is again, it's about, what's love got to do with it, and so we did have to change the name, and so it's called Real Talk, and in being Real Talk, I mean, it really is, it's so. Whereas D and I tend to be more, laid back, more professional, more, whatever. It really is real talk. It really is. We all sitting around in the living room. We having some drinks. They having some smoke, and we're having real discussions. And it is like, and it's not even just like, it is having real discussions with people you cool with, people you kick it with, people who, y'all just are doing what y'all are doing. So in that regard, but I will say, so UNITY, that was definitely a big one for me.
Tell them to drop different songs from that they enjoy that are positive from women.
Oh yeah, so please feel free to share that. So any songs that, and again, listen, oh Lord, hey, no, he said no, I don't. I prefer heifer. You prefer heifer now because me and you had them discuss. Listen, we done had them discussions. Hello, Miss Cook. She says hello, my queens. Hey, Beatrice. So yeah, I will say it is a different world. You know what? The thing from a different world. It's a different world from where we come from. And I mean, just songs that just kind of, got you to just really me come with me.
Know that I'm ready.
I finally heard them say, it's a different world. Yeah. Yes, it is now, boy. That's why I'm so excited that Baby Girl's about to go off. Like, it is just.
Look, she's about to see the real world.
Well, a twist on it.
Yeah.
Because college life in the college world is a little bit different from even just, what we know as to be like the real world. So, but that was another one that just really kind of, just said, hey, I just, and it's so funny because there's so many that are, just bubbling over in my brain. Respect yourself. Now, I will say, Salt and Pepper, they have some songs, baby.
Salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper.
Talking about
and we're in not
that one. But and even the song that stays with me. So when I hear Salt and Pepper, I mean when you say Salt and Pepper to me, yeah, you hear, Push It, you hear Shoot, you hear all this different, all these different music, all this different vibe. But the one from my youth that sticks with me. Okay, so first of all, None of Your Business. That one's always in my brain. But respect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
respect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was one of the first ones where I was just like, it's like, respect yourself.
That's a new generation. That was the new generation version of Aretha Franklin's Respect.
Right. Because we're gonna talk about Aretha talking about give me that RESPECT.
Yeah, that was our generation version of that. And if you want to just flip the script a little bit, even TLC, when they went into the one where I was talking about um, where they were giving the messages of not because the video showed the promiscuity and then the person getting sick.
Waterfalls.
That's the name of it.
Waterfalls.
Yeah, but it's like the message of respect yourself.
Yeah.
Don't just go out there all willy nilly doing any and everything that you are legally old enough to do because you're gonna find yourself getting caught up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, at the end of the day, I mean, who's going to take care of you better than you?
Right. And see, while Public Enemy has some great stuff. Ooh. But while Uncle Luke was sitting up there, having us doing all kinds of ratchet stuff, our sisters were counteracting that.
They were.
Trying to say, okay, yeah, this is all good, but we need you to hear. Like MC Light.
Mia X, yeah, Moni Love, yeah. Another one that really resonates with me, MC Light.
Mhm. I love her.
To this day, like to hear her voice, like, yeah. So the song where Brandy got MC Light, Queen Latifah. Yeah. Yo, I want to be down, but I mean, she, and so at the same time, they're like, hey, yeah, I want to be with you and this and that and the other, but this is what it is. Yeah, you're gonna have to come with it. You're gonna have to come with it. Hey, Miss Annette, she said she didn't know we were on. So hey, Deatra says Push It was from back in her day at the club, and she said we're making her smile.
Aw, yeah.
Yes. I don't know. I just okay. And one that like people are just like it is not a positive song, but to me it was a positive song. It was a positive song because of the message that she was given. Superwoman by Karen White. She said, I am not your superwoman. I am not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything is okay. Where's Dee? She's right over there. She's cooking. She had to step out just now. Yes, it is. Thank you. But yeah, she's cooking. She's over there right now. Right now, her husband kidnapped her and made her go outside. I don't know what happened. We're not gonna talk about that. Them folk. Anyway. So I'm meddling. She says, I'm hungry. She in there cooking it up now. Nah, she not hiding. She cooking. So, she let me tell y'all, this woman takes care of this house. This her house. We just live in it. I promise and I swear. But she takes amazing care of us. Y'all don't understand. I think in music. So for me, like, just trying to kind of pinpoint different ones is really interesting because I think like I could be having a whole conversation and I literally think in music. So like you can say something to me and I will hear a chord from a song or I will hear, phrases from a song. And that is just really, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? But she does that. So right. And but that goes from, just being a musician and being, in the world of music. But yeah, so we literally, we just, that is how we function here in this house because my baby girl's the same way. She says she always, right. And it says she always relates things to song.
And
And that's
G.
absolutely,
Heck,
absolutely.
everybody. G does too.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
This whole household is music
That's what
based.
I'm about to say. We just that big, but that's how we function. That is
Mm-hmm.
how we function. Um, y'all got some funny comments. Um,
Uh-oh.
what about you?
What about me? What?
What about you? What are some of the songs that have inspired you?
Whew. Um, you know, that's it just really depends on the mood and the mindset. If
Yeah.
I need um uplifting, to be uplifting, like you mentioned earlier, um about Yolanda Adams, The Battle Is Not
Mm-hmm.
Yours.
Oh Lord, honey.
That song back in the day and even now sometimes resonates
Mm-hmm.
so well. For me, CC Winans Alabaster Box.
Oh, that was a beautiful one.
And I'm coming more from the gospel side right now. There are, of course, we had like the Clark sisters, the Pace sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and then those that branched off individually. You've got the Kimberells, you've got but most of like this generation now would be more along the um, oh Lord, what's her last name? Uh, um, better,
I know you're talking about, but the one sings Better Days.
yes, right. You'll have to forgive me right now, making sure that my honey love was straight. That was on the forefront of my brain. So now that I know he's straight, I can redirect my thinking.
Redirect yourself.
Yeah, I can redirect my thinking.
Ooh. Quick feet, quick feet.
Right.
Kim. Johnson. She says it's Johnson.
Johnson, that's it.
She said we're looking gorgeous in all that green.
Thank you. That's the color. That's the color.
That is.
Niecy, she just joined.
Hey, Niecy. That is my baby, Miss Niece. I love Miss Niece. I love Miss Niece. Folks don't apparently folks don't understand.
But they so them, and on a more personal note, I know we're talking about positive music, but what got me over when I was going through a situation when I was living in Atlanta was Heard It All Before by Sunshine Anderson.
Ah!
And to some, that may not really come across as a positive song, but at that moment, it gave me the strength and empowerment,
yeah,
that I needed to handle that specific relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had gone through a situation where the verbal abuse, and then he thought he was gonna take it physical. That's what he thought. But when he got that 25-pound weight upside his head, his thinking changed a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And so, and then after it's all over, you know how it works. Coming back, I'm so sorry, I'll never do it again. You're right. That's why you were blocked on every. I wasn't really on social media or whatever then, but that's why I changed jobs. That's why I moved from where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I did not change was my church. Mm-hmm. And this clown decided to make an appointment with my pastor. So after service one Sunday, my pastor called me in, and I'm like, because I used to type up his term papers. And he was in school at the time. No big deal. He calls me in. Well, had somebody to beckon for me. I get there. I see this big round faced scound booger. And I forgot I was in church. Even though it was pastor study, I forgot I was attached to the house of God, and was like, basically, why are you here? No, I was like, why the F you here? And I was like, oops, I'm sorry. And because he had painted this picture
Mm.
of she won't talk to me. I reached out and we had an argument and I don't know what the situation is. And I love her. And da, 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 da. So I just sat there like I do. And after he finished his diatribe, I politely said, "Okay, now, but did he tell you about about being drunk all the time? Did he tell you about trying to put his hands on me? Did he tell you about all the verbal stuff that he would say just because he was feeling insecure?" And da, 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 so after all of that was said, he was like, "No, I was not told any of that." I said, "So that's the reason why I don't fool with him anymore. That's the reason why if he calls my job again, he'll be arrested. That's the reason why I should call the cops now because it's called harassment and stalking."
Absolutely.
So when it was all said and done with that scenario, it was like heard
Heard it
it
all
all
before.
before.
Nah, ain't that it?
So yeah, Sunshine helped me. Sunshine helped me through some things. Uh-huh. It's okay, big sister.
Yeah, she said she gonna stop working listening to us, but she needed a break. She said she needed a break. I was like, it's okay.
Everybody shout my honey out. I'm not gonna turn around and put those guns on the screen for y'all to see, but his birthday is
Tomorrow,
tomorrow.
y'all.
So
Tomorrow.
shout my honey out. He turns 51. We are our parents. But that's okay. I'm right behind you. You don't want to talk.
You really don't want to talk now.
I love you too. Mm-hmm.
But he really don't want to talk now. Okay, so one of my favorites, and I can't really call her a new artist, but a newer artist is Jill Scott.
Get out of my head.
Manifesto. Which one were you going for?
Which one can I not go
right?
for?
But for me, it was Manifesto. Well, it's not Manifesto. It's Woman Festo. Womanifesto. Yeah, Womanifesto. Let me look at that up.
While you looking that up, I'm gonna tell y'all something crazy. Janet Jackson.
I just gotta look at her. I feel better.
She is gorgeous. Look, you cannot deny those Catherine Jackson jeans.
No,
because she is definitely her mama's baby.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the younger pictures of Miss Catherine, and you look at Janet, it was like Miss Mama Catherine was stacked back in the day. That's why Joe was crazy.
Well, but he was crazy anyway.
But that didn't help having a super fine wife.
Yeah, it's called Womanifesto. And so if you don't know this particular song by Jill, trust me, you want to go and check that one out. She says, "Happy birthday, G."
Yeah, I'll make sure he gets them all.
Him and his crazy self.
Uh-huh.
But just Indie Ivy, I am not my hair.
Brown skin.
Oh yes.
You know, and it's like she made it okay to embrace your melanin, even though many of us were doing it already,
right?
But she made it mainstream for our younger girls to, because even with these apps, they always lighten you, on the apps when you do the facial things, they make your nose a little thinner. They thin your lips. I like these. I like this. I mean, I grew into my nose.
You grew into it.
Mm-hmm. I growed into my nose.
You growed into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. They're just okay. But I'm gonna tell you about one where it to me it's a positive song only because well, before I go into that one, another positive is Angie Stone's brother.
I hate you. Get out of my
love that one. She's like, I love my black brother.
Mhm.
Love him. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I love, love, love me a black man. I am pro black. I'm happy with everybody else. Everybody else do everything else, do what you want to do. But for me,
Nothing like a
ain't
strong black
strong,
man.
not nothing at all.
Mhm.
But anyway, so the song that I was talking about, where and this woman is what she is, and I've actually heard this song flipped, and like just a few strands were changed of it to make it a gospel song, which I kind of, but this particular song, she is talking about loving this man and being so happy in the love of this particular man. And for me, like this song has been playing in my head for a couple of days now, but for me, like it is just one of those songs that for me is just happy and feels good and just you'd be like, oh yeah, that's him, that's it. And it is simply called He Is by Heather Headley.
Mhm.
Simply called He Is.
Now I'm gonna flip it over to the groups a little bit.
Okay, I'm listening.
I get so weak in the knees I can hardly speak. I lose all control. Then something takes over me in a day, and it's so amazing. It's not a phase. And it's like I love SWV
Yeah.
because they pushed love.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
They pushed love.
Love. Just absolute just.
They pushed love. In Vogue, they had their cuts or what have you. But for me personally, if I was going to correlate a female group to a boys to men style,
Mm-hmm.
it would be more along the lines of a SWV.
Mm.
Because if you kind of take their music and put them, you don't really have you don't really have a whole lot of male bashing songs by them.
No.
You don't have, and like with Boys to Men, you don't really have a lot of the female bashing songs and
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So I would kind of correlate the two of them. You already said India, who is, but Chrisette,
Michelle. Oh my goodness. Epiphany, I love. But also, as long as you say goodbye, you can blame it on me, honey. Say it's my fault. Call me a liar, a cheater, anything you want, just as long as you gone. Because I need me. Probably not what we were talking about. But yeah, anyway, it's having a moment. Anyway, but yeah. Now let me some
that was rather uplifting.
That said, whatever you want, just get out.
Whatever, yeah.
Bye.
Oh, you know what? Vivian Green's He Is as well.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Listen, Vivian Green got some stuff.
I mean, Headley. Yeah.
Well, it's still Headley. No, but Vivian Green, she got some stuff for you too. Wait a minute, let me. Okay, y'all have to understand. So on my phone, my regular everyday phone, I literally have over 1,600 songs
studio
on my phone. Because when I say that I am very music oriented, like that's not a joke. So I literally have like almost 1,600 songs on my phone. For me, I know that but when we do talk about Vivian Green and we talk about just she says, hey, I gotta go. I got to grab the baby stuff, I need to do me. I need to take care of me because I'm no good for you in the way you acted anyway. But I ain't no good for you. if I don't take care of me. And so that's one of those that just really kind of sticks with me.
Resonate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just. But I'm gonna tell you, for me, the ultimate women's empowerment song, and I was little. I was little. I was little. Because let me tell you, when I say music has been just my entire life, my mother was a huge Diana Ross fan. To this day,
I was waiting on the
my
Supreme.
mother is still a huge Diana Ross fan. But one of the very first songs, so all the very first songs of mine that I knew all came from Diana Ross, I ain't gonna lie. But one of the very first songs that made me just kind of look, because it triggered something in my mama that made me look at my mama a little differently, because she was singing this song, and she her little chest was all up. She because my mama's a very statuesque woman, but mama is she had a whole little, it wasn't an attitude, but she was like, "It's my house and I live here." I was like, "Okay, it's okay, mama. You okay? It's okay." She said, "It's my house." I was like, "Oh, got it, got it." From the Boss record, because they had the records back then. And I'ma tell you, just about every track on that doggone record was Woman's Independence. But she said, "It's my house." I was like, I don't know what Daddy did that day, but I promise you, like, it was just he had come home.
That stuck with you.
He had come home, and I no, she came home. I was already at home with Daddy, and she came home. I don't know what was going on. I was a little kid. I don't know what was going on in the background. That wasn't my business. I was a little kid. But when she turned on that Diana Ross, okay, so that probably should have been a key thing to me back then, was the fact that she walked up in the house, despite the fact that we were already in the house, and she just gonna cut on the stereo and just she gonna throw on her Diana Ross, and she gets to strutting around. I'm just like, oh, she in a good mood. It's my house. Was somebody else trying to take your house?
I hope not.
I do too. I don't know what the hell happened, but I remember her singing that. It's my house and I live here. I was like,
now that takes me to one of my all-time favorites.
What's that?
Gladys.
Baby.
Miss Gladys is so regal. But
Yes.
I'm gonna even go back, you know, and a lot of people don't realize this, but I can't think of the name of the song right now. But Eartha Kitt.
Ooh, Miss Eartha.
I cannot think of the song, but nobody rolls their R's like Miss Eartha. but when but it was like, but Gladys just puts you in that place. Now Patty, she's that party girl.
Listen, we're not going to talk about Auntie Patty. I Was Survived by Gloria Gaynor. Heck yes.
You know what? That is a phenomenal piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a phenomenal piece. I was you know, you start talking about the queens of that era, the Anita Bakers and
oh, honey, caught up in the rapture of love.
You have that whole era where love was at the forefront. Yes, they addressed real life issues, but they addressed them in a way that gave you hope.
Angela Wimbush.
Yes.
Mm.
Angel.
Mm-hmm.
It gave you hope. The music gave you hope. It wasn't all despair.
No.
And that's something that I appreciate and really miss.
Right, because now it's like
I don't listen to music from. I just don't.
So the stations that I listen to, unless I'm just I'm having one of those days, or I just need to really amp myself up, I listen to Heart and Soul.
Mhm.
and they have another one called Silk,
Mhm.
which is all the love songs, but it's the love songs that we grew up with.
Mhm.
So I listen to that. So at any given point in time, if you're listening, if you come around me and I'm listening to music, it is generally either Heart and Soul or Silk, and both of those are on Sirius XM.
Mhm.
Um, unless it's one of those let me get in my
And
zone.
then it's a DMX kind of day.
You know who I love though?
Oh.
Who I love. Okay, so y'all agree. Y'all gonna talk stuff. Y'all gonna talk stuff about me. I don't really care. I love Lizzo.
And I love Celine Dion.
Ooh, she got some good music too.
Now, back in the day, Dolly Parton was my girl.
At 95.
Back in the day, I
Hey, Mama
loved me some Dolly Parton. But Lizzo is, yeah, I love the fact that she makes people who try to body shame,
Gwen. Not that one, boo.
she shuts them down.
Yes.
She is like, look, I am who I am. I am a real woman. I am a for real figure 8 woman.
Yes.
I am not, you know, a stick figure.
No.
I have meat on my bones that is greatly appreciated by whomever I allow to appreciate it.
Ain't that it?
So that is the biggest piece that and the consistent thing I'm noticing theme that I'm seeing is like we are kind of without because we have not talked about who we were going to bring up and who we were going to.
No.
We intentionally have not done that, but everybody is they tend to be empowering. Like even with like Brandy and Monica back in the day. Now their stuff has matured
It has.
over the
Definitely has.
years. Their stuff has definitely matured over the years, and the appreciation of that little young infatuation and the boy is mine, that little typical stuff that you go through when you're in junior high school and high school or what have you. And then but life experiences help them to both evolve.
Because when I tell you I love me some Monica. Oh my gosh. I love her music. I love just and just watching what just her
she's
evolve.
Intentional with she's very
she
intentional.
Yes.
She's very intentional with the way that she presents herself, primarily because she is a mother.
Yes. And she takes that, I mean,
and even Toni Braxton, her having her autistic son, she was very intent. She's had her life experiences or whatever, but there were a lot of different pieces of her life that she was, in the midst of all of this stuff that she went through. She made it a point to be a hands-on mother.
Yes.
For her, son. She didn't
leave
pawn him off
to somebody else.
And seeing what's the Zion, Zion,
Lauren Hill.
Yes. Look,
we couldn't go through this show. Listen, she was coming up. We couldn't go through this show without how you gonna win when you ain't right within.
Lauren, and even as crazy as Erykah Badu is at this point in time, at one point in time in her career.
Yeah, better how wrong.
Well, see, but right. But at one point in time, it was like a lot of her music was more. If you look at the different stages of her albums would tell you, okay, I'm in a good relationship. I'm in a jacked up relationship. I just broke up with this scam and I want to kill him kind of relationship. Yeah, I'm really having a hard time dealing with this kind of stuff, whatever's going on in my life kind of relationship.
But you know who else does that?
Who?
Powerhouse. Absolute powerhouse. I've heard her perform live and it brought me to absolute tears. Temptation.
Girl, yes. Yes.
From When I See You to Doing Me to Sometimes You Gotta Lose to Win. Truth is,
to flipping it to a worship service in the middle of
in
her
the middle
concert.
in the middle of her concert, she's gonna be like, "Hold on, we gonna give some praise, we gonna get some joy right now." I'd be like, "Oh, okay." I am going to tell you that I think one of the ones that for me, this boy is mine is still going on with the senior citizens AARP said they all want Cletus, honey. I ain't mad. I ain't mad. I'm just telling you. Listen, I'm just saying. But when it comes to Fantasia, you know, big sister.
I love her.
When it comes to Fantasia,
because she is music as well.
Of course, and she's one of the ones who said, you know, she feels that. When it comes to Fantasia, one of the ones now. So I was going through a breakup at that point in time. Free yourself.
Yeah, that was an anthem.
Free yourself.
That was an anthem at the time.
If this ain't where you want to be,
break wide.
Free yourself.
Don't break wide.
Because what she was saying to him on the cool was, I'm tired of you being here in the first place. I'm tired of your shenanigans. You can't figure out what you want. I'm going to need you to go on about your business because I'm ready to be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, she was like, free yourself. I'm not holding you here.
Nope. You are not. You are not a captive. Look, you are not handcuffed to the bed or the chair. You are not duct taped. You are not zip tied. As a matter of fact, I will help you. I will open the door and hold it while you vacate the
wide
premises.
Open. Hold it wide open.
Yeah, that was definitely an anthem at that time.
Because I'm going to tell you, was going through some things.
Thank God for deliverance. That's all I can say.
Whew, Jesus. Free your mind and the rest will follow.
Now, while we're talking about how, you know, they do that, now, Jennifer Hudson. Big Jen, little Jen, in between Jen. She's kind of like Lufa. It doesn't matter, you know. Her vocals are just stupid,
just insane.
You know, and for her to endure the things that she endured with the unfortunate demise of her family, and to take all of that and put it in her music, it was like there was no way that, you know, you didn't feel the fact that I can make it through this.
Absolutely.
There's no way that, you know, and it just resonated. If I can make it through what I'm dealing with, you can too.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's just one of those things where it just lets you know, hey, music, you know, people can say whatever they want about, well, you know, music is just music, and that, no, music has the tendency to be able to completely transform your mindset, completely transform your energy,
mood,
your whole mood, the atmosphere around you, everything.
Your thought process.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you, the right song, your thought process. But, you know, you were talking about Jennifer Hudson. I love me some J Hood. She sang a song, well, two of them, but one I actually sang and won a competition in high school, and that is I Am Telling You. But when I tell you the way that woman sang, I mean, Jennifer, what was the original? Jennifer Holiday. Now, she sang the song, and that's where I got the song from to sing it, because I went to go see Dreamgirls live. And so then when I had to, it was a competition and an audition at the same time. And so when I went, that because I had just gone to see Dreamgirls live. Mom had taken us to Chicago. And so I, again, come from a very musical family. So I grew up going to the opera, going to musicals, going to all of that. And so we had just seen Dreamgirls. And I was just like, I'm going to sing that song. And people were looking at me like, you going to sing that song? I'm like, yep, I'm going to sing that song. I'm in high school. You going to sing that song? That's I killed that song. I can't do it anymore. like to even listen to me talk, like my voice back there in high school was up here and it's down here now, and to even just try, but
Well, you have different things
and
going on.
I do. I've had some injury and some trauma, but baby, let me tell you, when I heard her sing that song, I hadn't even seen the remake of Dreamgirls at that point in time because I wasn't going to. Because I'd seen it on stage. I didn't want to. And I am telling you, I was like, wait a minute, who did that?
Right. J Hood, she killed that.
Who is that? Like I came flying, and really, what happened was somebody was watching it in her home. So I come flying down the stairs because I'm like,
Who is
who?
that?
What is that? Who? And it was Jennifer Hudson, and she was singing that. She was singing, I am telling you. And then one night only. Come on, big baby, come on. One night only. The actress, she said, free yourself and forget. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I have just really just, music is just because music is a part of who I am integrally.
And I wish that we had more female artists that were put on the forefront. As far as because I'm not there. There's a market for the Cardi B's. There's a market for those individuals, but then there's a market for those women like the Chrisette Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
There is a market for the India Aries.
Mm.
There is a market for those of us that appreciate music that uplifts and empowers.
Absolutely.
And the one thing I hate is we don't get the opportunity to hear about them and see them as prevalently as I'll just say as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's not exposing any and all of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And in various manners. But I will
in the secular world, and I have to keep stressing in the secular world. And the reason that I stress that is because you do have the what was it, Leandria Johnson. Because when I'm gonna tell you, when I heard, and it was the sister, and she was singing it to her sister, and so that was the first time I had heard that song. Like I heard that, I saw that video, and she had gone to her sister's job, and she was just like, God told me to come and talk to you today, honey, and I just want you to know, So I had to come, and she's just like, my baby sister, my baby
yeah, because
boo,
her sister was a teacher, yeah,
and she was just like, God put it on my heart to come here and talk to you, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold on. So I had to go back and and listen, and again, I come back to Yolanda Adams, and I have to come to Yolanda Adams strongly because Yolanda Adams is another one that kind of helped me through some stuff because I'll be like, man, and I be speaking in tongues, but it's not quite the same way. So, so the battle is not yours, and but for me, that one, the battle is not yours. This battle is not yours. It is the Lord's. And I am not a real religious person. So, I don't really.
Have you all heard J Hood sing I Know Where I've Been? Now that, yes.
Oh, she said that's my anthem for my present time. Baby. But yeah, that's a powerful song too. That's a powerful song. But yeah, so yeah, Yolanda has helped me through some things.
Mm-hmm. And see, with all the one thing that they all have in common, maybe minus Celine Dion, they are black women.
Absolutely.
And Gloria Gaynor. I forgot she mentioned Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Dolly.
She's not Gloria Gaynor somewhere? What?
Yeah, she is. Girl, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about somebody else.
Listen,
I'm sorry. Look, it just overlooked my head right now. But they're all black women.
Yeah.
And I want to segue into, because, in these last couple of minutes, we only have like 10 minutes left. But we're going to start featuring different black own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm always being fussed at because I don't let people know what I'm capable of doing. People see my work all the time, hither, there, and yon, clicking on websites and different things that they may see. And, and I'm a very behind the scenes kind of person. But I have been fussed at by clients and family alike, um, to say um, that I need to start letting people know what I do.
Absolutely.
And so I am a graphic designer by trade.
You are.
Be Real Consulting is the legal business entity name. Um, so, if it's graphics related, I do it. Networking is something that is a big part of what we do,
That's a vocal, yeah.
which is a big part of where Kee's business, well, her biggest business, comes in here to help.
Here to help. Yes.
The name speaks for itself. Um, and so we find ourselves in positions where we're doing that all the time. Short notice, long notice, no notice.
I was about to say no notice. Just hey.
Look, I've got a baby that needs XYZ ABC. We need formula. We need Pampers. We need food. We need a bassinet or something for a baby to be able to sleep in. We need,
Clothes.
clothes for a family that is burned out, or we need, housing for someone that is in a dire situation. Sometimes it's domestic violence related, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's somebody just needs somewhere for them and their children, or if men, women, convicts or not,
Yeah.
and so that's where Here to Help comes in.
So with Here to Help, I literally just saw needs in the community. Um, so one of the things that I do is to help to combat recidivism, which is when offenders turn around and go back to jail, because they're, it is that repetitive cycle because they don't have what they need to make it out here in the world. So when they're returning to society, one of the things that I make it a point to do is to help them with um, getting whatever it is that they need, like, getting cell phones, getting IDs, because you have to have a phone in this day and age to do anything, to get IDs, to be lined up with training to help find transitional housing, and employment, definitely in employment. So that ends, um,
Expungement.
the expungements. That one's kind of taken a little bit of a turn for me. That one,
Too much exposure. Personal exposure.
too much personal exposure. And I think because with when you're battling recidivism, I can't even say it today.
Recidivism.
I am, in a position where I can say, I can only, I'll only help, nonviolent felons, or, I can only, assist this many
so that's
people.
what we network it for with them on
exactly, and that's exactly what I was about to say. So, as my daughter has gotten older, as she kind of has, started to come of age, I no longer wanted those all those different influences and personalities, because sometimes you really were having to work from home, or if I had to go and meet somebody somewhere, to handle business, I'm not taking my child, or I would have to drop her off somewhere, just to in order to be able to go and handle business, and then have to come back and get her. So what that was doing was I was actually starting to take away from me being mom. So one of the things, and so I have a business group. We have a business group on Facebook, and it is called Indie Cell Phone Businesses. And what it was because in my journeys and in my travels and whatnot with and just networking with people, I have come to know so many business owners. And when I say business owners, I'm not talking about corporate owners. I'm talking about barbers and hairstylists and nail technicians and people who make baked goods out of their house and graphic designers and, web designers and, people who can sit up there and do all kinds of business consulting and, who can get you up off the ground and all of that sort of a thing. So because of that,
What's wrong
and
with your hand?
I don't know, it's just got a cramp in my finger. Because of that, I created this group so I could just start putting all of these people in there together. So what started with about 200 business owners is now up over 1,500.
Actually, it's over 2.6.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's at 2.6 thousand. Wow. I'm and then that just goes to show, that it is blessed and it is growing and it is something that is truly needed. It is something that, people ask me all the time, do you know this? Can you find, do you know, they put it in the group. And if you don't want to put it in the group, then I will put it in the group because I guarantee you, whatever you have a need for, I have somebody that can feed that need. They can fulfill that need. Mm-hmm. The other part of Here to Help that I actually still do, is actually a part of what I do. And even though there are certain aspects of it that, and this is where our two businesses kind of tie together, is that when there are small business owners who are just like, I know how to, like a barber, I know how to cut hair, but I want to open my own barbershop. Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? What? Where do I start? So this one is going to be like, okay, so what is it that you're trying to do? What is where is your vision? Where are you going? I'm going to point you in the direction of grants. I will help you to apply for said grants. She's going to tell you this is what you need to do to get started. I will help you file your paperwork. She will make sure your credit is right to try to do what it is you're trying to do. And so, we tend to work in tandem. We now have two Black accounting people. I know that we have a team of financial advisors, credit repair. And y'all don't know I'm about to get it when we get out of there.
No, but that's what we say.
It's what we do. So we are kind of professional networkers.
Yes, you be too hush.
Absolutely.
Your big sis says,
open your mouth, honey. Absolutely. So we, we promote. So whether it is music.
So many people have blown up just from the network. We hear it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for connecting us with XYZ.
Whether it is you are selling something, whether you are a musician, a poet,
you name it,
an author. Yeah, we I know a guy or a gal or a team. So these are all things that and so I think one of the ones that I did here recently was the candles. And when I tell you those are amazing candles, okay, so let me tell you. So as my candle was cooling, I accidentally touched my finger on it, and I was just like, oh, and I was doing like this. And I was like, wait a minute, and I rubbed it on my hand. There's soy base. So when I tell you that it's a candle, but when I tell you they're all natural, but when I tell you it just said the so then I was like, okay, can I just burn it just a little bit enough to soften the wax?
You know what?
Just saying. Anywho, so that is what we do. That is a big part of what we do. We also try to bring on guests that have something to share and that can tell you something that's going to benefit you. Whether it is wealth management, whether it is business consulting, whatever it is, we again because we have this network.
And
health. We're going to be in a commercial. So one of our dear friends owns a CBD dispensary, and we happen to just find it because we love coffee and tea. And we were driving. It's like, oh, look, it's a coffee and tea shop. I didn't know that that was there. And it was like, oh, and they have CBD. And at the time, I was going through some physical things. So we were like, oh, well, they're combining the CBD and the coffee and tea. We got to go in there. And we did. And
It's been a wonderful relationship ever since.
big, huge shout out to Nicole. Love you to death. Uh, I need to come and get buttered.
Yeah. But Sunday, we're going to have a special segment with a new business owner. I know you all have seen me posting. Dang, it's 7 o'clock already.
Yeah.
With a new business owner. You've seen me posting those purses.
Ooh, Lord,
They
child.
are
Ooh,
not
ooh.
knockoffs.
They are
They
not.
are authentic.
They are.
The leather is real.
They are.
They are heavy. She takes
They
much
are.
pride in making sure they
Amazing purses.
are clean, that they are even the gently used purses, 99% of them still look brand spanking new.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how gentle the gently is. And so what we're going to do is going to have her, going to take her live to actually introduce her to everyone and allow her the opportunity to teach everyone about how to take care of, because a lot of us will buy those nice purses or we are gifted those nice purses but don't know how to take care of the leather, don't know how to properly clean the purses. She's going to show different styles, different types, of purses and wristlets and what have you. And she also has, and I've got to hit her up, even though I probably will never make it to a pool, but she's got a couple of swimsuits, $25, y'all. 1 and 2X. That true size 1 and 2X, not
I got to wear stuff.
straight women sizes. Um, that I need to hit her up for because yeah, and they're brand new. Those are not gently used. Those are brand spanking new.
So you gonna tell them the website, or are you gonna wait?
My girlfriend's closet consign .com.
So the only thing that I have to say about that is one, it is an amazing and absolutely fantabulous. Yeah, I created that one. Fantabulous website, and it's very insightful, and it's beautiful, and it's extremely well done. Like her, just saying.
Yeah, I did do it,
And
but
she did the damn thing, y'all. She did the damn
I
thing.
have purse gasms every time I see some new
Listen,
stuff go on there. It's just like,
did you know I did not realize I have two whole totes full of purses. I knew I had the one, the big one. There's one over in the other
mm-hmm,
full of purses. I
mm-hmm,
was like, oh god, that's ridiculous. And this after I gave away how many?
mm-hmm,
Probably about 40.
mm-hmm.
I love purses.
Firstaholic. But anyway, we're going to be back on next Tuesday. We There are a couple of different guests, so we're just kind of trying to see which direction we really actually need to go in, depending on how things are rocking and rolling. Um, and hopefully, the one that I really hope she feels physically up to it. A young lady that I know, and she's like, I am not my cancer.
Absolutely.
And her cancer came from will make you take note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came from a source that will make us all take notice. And all I'm gonna say to drop a hint is Flint, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Contaminated water is where is what really gave
Mm-hmm.
her cancer. But she was like, I am not my cancer. So hopefully she will be available and physically up to
Yeah.
um, joining us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we'll see. If not this week, it'll be as soon as she's up to par.
Absolutely.
As soon as she's up to par. But in the meantime, we will see y'all next week
Yes, we
on
will.
this thing called
Life.
life. Love you guys. Take care.